Hi goodies, welcome back to my channel. This right here is my consultant, the one that you guys have been breaking my back about. Julia, please introduce yourself.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Julia Stewart Stackhaus, reigning out of Atlanta, Georgia. Sisterlock Consultant, Certified Sisterlock Consultant, and been so for 14 years.
Yeah, so she has a lot of experience. This is the second time that I'm coming back to her after not coming to her for, what was it, like 8 years now?
Years.
Yeah, a lot of years. And if you watch my channel, you know that's because I traveled a lot for school, learned how to retighten my hair myself. But after moving from like Paris and just not taking good care of my hair, I was like, I need professional hands. And now I'm hooked after coming back. Do not mind the music in the background, by the way. The people next door are jamming, but we are currently knocking out probably like the last maximum hour of my hair at this moment in time. But I'm just gonna ask Julia some questions that I think you guys would like to know in regards of what you should know before you get sister locks and other general questions that seem to be very popular as well as common myths. So let's get started. Okay, so the first questions I'm going to go through are about consultations and what you should ask before you even get sister locks. So Julia, do you feel like people should ask how much hair will you leave out at the end of the sister locks?
That should never be a question because there is a standard. I have noticed that the standard has not been followed by other consultants because it seems to me everybody's trying to turn out this type of work in record time. There is only a very small amount of hair left at the end. It is never halfway or even 1/4 even. I'll give you a good example. Sister locks is locked from tip to root. From the tip, the very tip of the lock to the root. Give you a good example. Hold tight. Let me finish this rotation. When someone installs your locks for the first time, after parting off the desired area, at the very, very end is all that should be left out because that is the locking process of sister locks. The very end is left out. That end forms a very tight coil, and the encasement process begins where the hair starts to wrap itself around itself. It will not. The locking process will be delayed and retarded, and then the integrity of the lock will be compromised if too much hair is left out. Therefore, that's not a question that should be asked.
Okay, and then my next question is, can a prospective client ask for a specific lock size?
Yes and no. Well, this is the thing. It's not necessarily Burger King. It's not you get it, you have it your way. The size of your lock is determined by the density of your hair, which means how much hair per square inch do you have on your head. So, Imani and I, just say we have the same size head, okay? But my density is higher than hers, meaning thicker. I will be able to have smaller locks than she will because I have the hair per square inch to support that small lock. One thing we don't want to do as consultants, we're always taught never to put a lock on 2 strands of hair. So the misconception is, well, my hair is thin or it's fine, so I don't need for my locks to be very small. No, you're not. Because if your hair is thin and it's fine, that means you don't have a lot of hair per square inch on your head. Therefore, your size or your parting sizes are going to be much larger than someone whose hair is much thicker. Thicker hair or higher density hair can hold small locks, not low density.
That kind of answers my question personally, but I think some people wonder, like, is the amount of locks you have on your head important?
Oh my goodness, what a wonderful question. No it is not. It has nothing to do with nothing. Think about it. Did we know how many strands of hair were on our heads before we locked? No, had no clue. We knew if our hair was full or fine or, that type of thing. But again, you counting the amount of locks on your head is not something you want to do, because as soon as somebody says, well, I have 532 locks, you might say, well, gosh, I only have 489. Well, does that mean that you don't have enough locks, or that your consultant kind of shortchanged you? No, it doesn't mean that at all. You have the right amount of locks for your density, meaning hair per square inch on your head, no matter how many they are. For some people with low density, that could mean 350. For some people with average hair, that could mean 502. For some people with high density, that could mean 689 or 700. It all depends on the density or thickness of your hair. So going around saying, well, how many locks do you have and how many locks do you have, doesn't matter a hill of beans, because everybody's head is different. Everybody's head is shaped differently too. Some people have thinning areas on the sides of their temples, in the middle, to where, guess what, a consultant like me, I'm not going, just because I'm able to be consistent with smaller locks on most of your head, that area might not allow me to do that. So I might have to make your parting sizes a little bit bigger, which would cause you to not get as many locks in the same area as you would somewhere else. So knowing the amount of locks you have doesn't mean anything. And I really wish that people would focus on something that was more important. Like how many weeks do you go between retightnings? If you're going more than 6 weeks in between your retightening, then you're not doing your locks justice. You're not maintaining the integrity of your lock. You're not taking care of them.
And can you go into more detail about what that would look like? Just because some people...
You're right. When I say every 6 weeks, I mean every month and a week, or every month and 2 weeks. You should never, ever, ever go a full 2 months without your retightening. This is a highly cultivated lock. It needs regular maintenance because of its small size. You can't treat sister locks like a traditional lock. Traditional locks are much larger. They're dime, nickel, or quarter sized. So therefore their maintenance is maybe every 2.5, 3 months, depending on the person. But this hairdo is regular maintenance. And if you're not prepared to give it regular maintenance, you might want to reconsider doing sister locks.
Now we're going to transition away from questions that people generally ask before they get their locks done, and this one obviously is geared towards the same audience, but more so the locking stages and how you're supposed to maintain your locks. So Julia, can you explain what the different locking stages of sister locks are?
Okay, well, your first initial install, you are locked, or your hair is in the locking formation, but you're not completely locked. So it is important to understand that when you're locking, that means that you are removing moisture from the hair. Okay? So we want to refrain from getting our hair wet. We don't want to mist it at all, because in order for the hair to lock, it's got to dry out. The hair has to mesh together. It has to encase itself around itself. And when we add moisture to the hair, it delays that process from happening, because the hair will swell and start to come loose. So it is best that after locking, you try to shampoo maybe every 2 to 3 retightenings. Of course, braiding and banding it, like your consultant should have instructed you on how to do. I'm not saying I don't want you to shampoo your hair at all. No. What I'm saying is I want you to delay it. I want you to look at shampooing as something that you do every blue moon and not every 2 weeks or bi-weekly. Now I understand a lot of people are saying, well, they say that you can shampoo immediately. I know what they say, but taken from 14 years of experience and understanding the locking process and understanding what that means, the hair has to dry out. No moisture, no water, no misting, no, conditioners. That's not what the hair is doing. The hair is drying out, meshing together, encasing itself around itself, locking. And as you lock, then you can start to increase if need be. That's another thing. Some people think that just because they sweat a little bit at the gym, oh, now my hair is dirty. No, your hair is just sweated. It's sweating out, and hopefully you haven't been putting any products in your hair, so there's no product buildup in it. So all you probably need to do is just air it off. Let it dry off. Let it air dry. And usually, to be honest with you, it takes most people 8 months to a year. Most people. That's providing they do what I just described. Leaving it be. Allowing it to happen. Not interrupting it or disrupting it with added chemicals, or products and misting and moisture. Locks is easy. Locks means less is more. Your locks are not supposed to shine. They have their own natural luster. You have to remember you are a black woman or a woman of color. So your hair is not going to shine like that of a Caucasian person. You have to allow the process to happen by leaving it alone. Now, once the encasement process starts, you usually will know when you're about to lock, because initially when you lock, you'll see a pattern in your lock. It will look like a braid, but it's really not. It's a pattern. As that pattern starts to disappear, that's a clear indication that the locking process is almost complete. Okay? And that is provided you have not added extra moisture to it. And also, let me please not forget, you must wear your shower cap in the beginning. It is crucial. You can't go swimming right away, or at least I don't recommend that you do. Even with banding, when you go swimming, unless it's a saltwater pool, you're swimming in a chlorine environment with chlorine water. That means you're going to have to remove that chlorine from your hair. Therefore, you will have to shampoo your hair. So if you're an avid swimmer, you might want to get your locks installed during the winter months when swimming slows down for you, to give your hair a chance to settle in. And also, too, once you shampoo your hair will double, the lock will double in size, because the water gets trapped inside the lock. And over a period of time, as the lock matures, or the encasement process finishes and it's a tightly coiled lock, that hair leaves, leaving you with nice, thin, uniform locks from tip to root, like what we have. And that is the locking process.
And then our locks right now are mature. That's
Very
at the
much
final
so.
stage.
So I've been locked 14 years, because I locked my hair, or got my hair locked, right when I found out that I was getting ready to be able to become a mom. I was pregnant with my son. And he is 14 years of age, and my locks are 14.
And then mine are coming up 13. Well, those are all the questions I have for today. We are almost done with my hair. Julia's great. I will have all of her information to her shop and everything, her pricing, and that's a little different based on installation. You will be able to contact her, and she's located in Atlanta. She does take clients from out of town as well, if you fly in, or
Right around the corner from the airport, so we can factor that in. I'll pick you up, tighten you up, and send you on your way.
Well, thank you for coming to my channel. Comment down below any questions you'd like me to ask Julia next time, because I know that there are a ton of questions that people have about sister locks in general that I might not have touched on. And as always, I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are in the world. Bye!